Detroit then 313. We're back. Stephen Will talking Detroit Lions football. Before we get started, you know what to do. Please hit that subscribe button. There's a lot of you guys. We got the analytics. There is a whole lot of you guys watching that are unsubscribed. I don't even understand it. A lot of you guys are commenting video in and video out and you're not subscribed. Please subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. It helps our reach. It helps this thing blow up, and we're just kind of track some of those big dogs that were crapping on us when we first started this thing. So please help us out. Don't forget the bell icon so you don't miss any of our new content. Done with my rant. Steve, talk to the people about what we're talking today.
I think Cooper Dejean is who we're going to be talking about today, but I think he's probably the biggest question mark for me. The biggest question mark in the draft. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I guess I'm coming into this episode with an open mind. Maybe you can sway me one way or another. Again, these mock drafts are so over the place. I just looked at a mock draft. The only reason we're even talking Cooper Dejean is because I saw a mock draft. What did we say 5 minutes ago? Yeah. Where he was mocked to the Detroit Lions. So if people are putting it out there that it's a possibility, it was on CBS. If you want to look up CBS mock draft to validate what I just said, go ahead. When I saw that, I was just like, man, this is a kid that I've seen in the top 10, number one corner coming off the board. How does he fall to the Detroit Lions? And I started thinking, I don't know how I feel about him. Again, don't love him. Don't hate him. I'm on the fence. I'm open-minded. I'm looking for something to change my mind about him. Will convince me that he would be a good fit for the Detroit Lions.
He's not a good fit. Show's over. Show's over. Shut it off. No, I'm just joking. All right. So listen, Cooper Dejean, I said it early that I like the kid, but I had made mention to him, I think, in one of the podcasts we were doing just in conversation, and somebody had mentioned in the comments that he would never be there at 29. You and I talked off air, and I've talked to multiple people about it, and I said in the beginning of this draft process that he probably will be on the back end of the first round. He's even a guy that I can see sliding into the second round because he doesn't have a true blue real position. Honestly, I think he's going to go to the NFL and potentially be a safety, right? But he's a freak athlete, man. He's just a freak athlete. The dude can do everything that you need to do on a football field. I think that, honestly, if he truly wanted to play slot receiver, he could go do that and be a Julian Edelman or Danny Amendola type guy or whatever. Like, he's got phenomenal ball skills, phenomenal leaping ability, phenomenal agility. But you know what he doesn't do phenomenally? Play press man. He doesn't. He don't play press man. If you look at all of the Iowa film, if you pull up a game or you look up highlight tapes, you're not going to see Cooper Dejean playing press man. It's not what he does. He plays off man. He plays zone. So if you're going to be in the NFL, you're going to be asked at some point in time to cover Justin Jefferson. You're going to be asked to cover Jamar Chase. You're going to be asked to play press man, man-to-man coverage, mano y mano. What I see from Cooper is a guy who is probably going to get moved to nickel corner or a safety position. He's going to chase tight ends. He is going to chase slot receivers, or he's going to play on the back end and be a ball hawk. If you see the guy return kicks and punts, or what he does when the ball is in the air, he goes up, he high points it like he's a receiver and proceeds to make offensive plays. I think he's kind of similar to Jahmyr Gibbs, to where you don't say that he's a corner, you don't say he's a safety, you say that he is a defensive weapon. So if you're in the business looking for a defensive weapon that you could play at multiple positions on the back end, then you draft a Cooper Dejean. Is he right for the Detroit Lions? I'll be honest, I don't see it, because we have guys like CJ Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. Like Ife Melifonwu. I don't want to miss anybody. We have a lot of guys who are kind of in this similar range of guys who offer multiple tools of athleticism on our back half. We need a cornerback one, and I don't think that's what Cooper Dejean is. That's my take on it. Sorry, Steve. I know that probably didn't sway you in the direction of the Detroit Lions drafting him, but if they did draft him, I'd be excited for us to have a freak athlete. But I would think that we probably prioritize the wrong thing.
I agree. I don't see cornerback one. What about cornerback two? And real quick, while I'm on it here, I'm working on a little something. We're going to show you guys. This is what we're talking about here. Cooper Dejean right here, cornerback 29, Detroit Lions. That's why we're talking about him, just so we're all clear. I don't see cornerback two. Or I do see a cornerback 2. Cornerback 1 feels like a reach to me, but can we upgrade him from Kindle Vildor? Would that be an upgrade? Where maybe we go out and we don't have a true cornerback 1, but we have 2 really good number 2s with Cooper Dejean and Cam Sutton.
Honestly, Steve, I believe in saying I don't know when I don't know, and honestly, I have no idea, because playing cornerback 2 in the NFL is completely different than playing cornerback 2 anywhere else, and you're still going to be asked to cover guys that are super explosive, elite playmakers, the top 60 in the world at their position. So if you're cornerback 2, just because you're not one of the top 32 playing quarterback 1, you're still one of the top 64, right? And you're still
that's good math for you.
and I did go to public schools. That is good for me. But it is you're still, man, you're still going to be asked to cover dogs. Even if we look at last year with teams like the Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson, okay, now go cover Jordan Addison. Hey, if you were with the Cincinnati Bengals, oh great, you don't got to cover Jamar Chase, go cover T. Higgins. Like, there's teams have multiple weapons. If you're the Detroit Lions, okay, you don't got to cover Amon-Ra, go chase J-Mo. Like, guys have multiple weapons on their team. The list could go on and on, but I don't know that that's what Cooper Dejean does. I know he's an athlete. I know he's a freak. Guys, actually, I'll put it in the chat, and you can watch him play some basketball and go dunk all over people and go crazy, right? But that doesn't mean that you're going to come into the NFL and be an elite cornerback, marrying people's feet, jumping routes.
I'll tell you right now, Cooper Dejean tries to dunk on me, he ends up in the wall.
Because you're grabbing him?
I'm just grabbing you. We're behind the wall. I'm not on your highlight tape. I'm just going to let that be known. Basketball, not my forte. Everything white about me comes out on a basketball court. I could hold my own in every other sport. You put me on a basketball court, I'm a fish out of water, man.
What about a three-point shootout?
Maybe a long time ago, not today. But I think you're right. Cooper Dejean, look, I look at our division. You got to play chess with the teams in your division. You got to watch what the Bears are doing, the Vikings, the Packers. They all have Justin Jeffersons. We might have Marvin Harrison in our division soon. DJ Moore, Christian Watson. Like, we have guys that we have to keep tabs on, and they have to keep tabs on us too. It's a two-way street. But how do we match up with the Justin Jefferson? When I look at Cooper Dejean, I almost think I would feel bad for what Justin Jefferson would do to this kid. And I've said the same thing about Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah was drafted 3 overall, 2019, 2020, whatever year that was. You come in at 3 overall, what was the expectations? It's to be locked down. Now, I'm not saying the picks 3 and 29 are the same. I'm just using this as an example. When Okudah was drafted, what I watched Devontae Adams do to him the first time the Green Bay Packers played the Detroit Lions was rude, disrespectful, humiliating. I think Jeff Okudah's parents called him and they had a conversation about changing his name to bring shame because he brought so much shame upon the family. They did not want to be associated with him anymore. I actually think legend has it that Devontae Adams took his jockstrap and got it bronzed and it hangs on his wall now because he just absolutely owns him. So I don't want to see Cooper Dejean come to the Detroit Lions and have something like that happen because it just, I'll tell you right now, week 1, if we're playing the Minnesota Vikings and that's his matchup, whoever the Minnesota Vikings quarterback is has to go after that matchup 24/7 nonstop until we can prove we shut it down. So for me, Cooper, I just don't see it. I don't see lockdown cornerback 2. Maybe I think there's just better options at pick 29 for cornerback 2. And I don't really even think Cooper's going to be there, but it's a pass for me. You have not changed my mind.
Good, because it's a pass for me as well, even though I do love his athleticism. I got a lot of respect for his game. I truly think he's going to go to the league and end up being a safety. That's what I truly think is going to end up happening.
And he'll feel good as a safety, but Detroit Lions have too many safeties, so it's just not a fit for us is really what we're saying. We're not going to draft him to return kicks. At pick 29, I'm not drafting you to return punts and kicks. We have Khalif Raymond who can do that pretty damn well.
Yep.
So I just don't see where he would fit on this team. Cornerback 2 is the only discussion. But again, in my opinion, I think there's better options either in the first round of the draft or later in the second, third rounds where we can get more of a cover corner type player. Cooper, cheering for you. hold it down for us white guys out there at defensive backs, man. You're going to be one of the only ones in the league. So, I'm going to be pulling for you, but I just don't want to see you as a Detroit Lion. That's all it comes down to.
No doubt, man.
That's it for today, guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know how you feel about Cooper. If there's some other guys you want us to keep some tabs on or do an episode on, we'll look at it. If it makes sense, we'll talk about it. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and we'll be back later.
Peace.